Why Toastmasters? What do you say when someone asks you, what is Toastmasters? I mean, to some of us, it's a lot of fun. To some of us, we don't even know why we exist. So we have to tell people what are some of the positive things that they need to learn and understand to become a Toastmaster. But there are some challenges to explain what is Toastmasters. And what's the biggest challenge? The name. We don't do toast. We don't make toast. Toastmasters was created in 1924 by Ralph Smedley, and back then it made sense. And you see the picture there, the very first Toastmaster meeting, and what do you see? A bunch of white guys in suits. Obviously, it doesn't reflect our diverse world nowadays. Things have greatly changed since now and then. And so I think this is my biggest problem. To really explain Toastmasters, we have to get over the problem of the name. The name is definitely holding us back. We need to move forward. So what does that mean? We need to rebrand. That's right. We need to get a new name for Toastmasters. I mean, I don't have a really good idea. Maybe Communicators International, World Leadership Society, communication experts, because we do so much more than just standing up and speaking. We're online, we do presentations, we use social media, we do all kinds of great things nowadays. But the name is a problem. I don't know how many of you, when you first explain to someone what Toastmasters is, the first question is, oh, you guys do toast? No, we don't do toast. We don't toast anymore. We communicate, we do leadership. So I think that's one of the biggest issues, that we need to rebrand the name. It's a new world. It's a new world. It's not 1924 anymore. I remember when I first joined Toastmasters back in the 90s. Yeah, you just stood up in front of a group and you spoke. Yeah, it was a diverse group. Yeah, there was women. Yeah, we didn't have to wear suits, but it was just standing up in front of the room and speaking. But now it's a digital world. We have smartphones, we have internet, social media, we got PowerPoint. We need to expand our presentation spectrum. We need to, another name, and our whole branding needs to reflect that it's a digital world. And some of the skills, Jerry always talks about transferable skills that we learn in Toastmasters that apply to the world around us, to our business world, to personal, to leadership, to organizations. And what does it start with? This is better listening skills through evaluation. And that's one of the things that separates Toastmasters from the other types of organizations which do teach public speaking. Many of them, when you give a speech, who evaluates you? The person leading the program, the class leader. I remember in college when I took speaking class in college, and we'd give a speech and the teacher would evaluate our speech. It should have been evaluated by the fellow students, right? So in our group, evaluation is really important. It helps in all aspects of your life, in business, organizing, dating, being a good listener and becoming a good evaluator. And let me say something about being evaluation. In our club, we all know the value of being an evaluator, but also being a counter and being grammarian, because those are really the toughest jobs in our meeting. Because if you're a Toastmaster, if you're a GE, if you're giving a speech, your type of topics, you can take a break. You can just go out, get a cup of coffee and come back. But if you're a counter or a grammarian, you got to be on the whole time. You have to be listening the whole time and making notes of what people are saying, what they said great and what they didn't say great, things like that. So a counter and grammarian, these are really tough jobs because you're always listening. Another important thing another transferable skill that we're mastering is digital presentations. Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Zoom. I mean, we're all mastering Zoom. The weird thing about Zoom that we're on now is Zoom keeps upgrading. and keeps adding new features and new capabilities. And we're learning to master those. And some of us are also doing video on YouTube. How many of us are in members of Video Masters? There's a bunch of us that are in Video Masters. So we're expanding our social media. We're expanding our digital awareness into new and different areas. And this is all part of the new and improved Toastmasters. It's not just standing up in front of a group and giving a speech anymore. It's all about communicating and presenting and using the tools that are available to all of us now. So what do I love the best? What is my biggest takeaway? Agendas. I love agendas. As you may know, I'm a PR consultant, so I work with lots of different companies. Some of them are small and some of them are giant corporations. And a lot of times I'm working with the C-suite, with the CEO, with the directors, with the Marcom managers, and I have to teach them how to use an agenda. I love agendas. I'm the little the minion from outside, the outside consultant, and I end up teaching all the executives the importance of agendas, about how to plan a meeting, how to make sure everything is organized on time, and that everything gets finished on time. And one of the steps is only invite those who need to be there. How many people get invited to meetings you don't even want to be at, don't need to be at? And even worse, you're at a meeting and you don't even get to speak. Why are you there? So that's one of my things. I try to teach these executives, only invite those who need to be there. And if someone needs to be there, make sure they speak. And keep track of time. Make sure you finish the meeting on time. Track the timing. And yeah, if you have too much to talk about, your meeting's not going to work. So when you organize your meeting, only have 2 or 3 or 4 items that need to be discussed so that that meeting can be completed on time. If there's other things that need to be talked about, have another meeting, maybe with different people. That's part of the problem. People overschedule their meetings. They have people that don't need to be in the first part of the meeting, but they need to be in the second part of the meeting. Maybe make it 2 different meetings. That might work, right? And finally, action items. A lot of meetings, almost every meeting I've ever been to, this is one of the biggest gaps. Action items. At the very end, recap, summarize the meeting. What does everybody in that group have to do before the next meeting? What tasks, what assignments have we agreed to do and will be done before the next meeting? Action items are essential. So why Toastmasters? Why do we do Toastmasters? How do you explain to a new person, a relative, a business associate, someone you just met on the street, someone you ran into it at Starbucks, why they should join Toastmasters? It is an opportunity to learn and master important life and business skills. It's not just about public speaking. Public speaking is maybe this much of it nowadays. It's about presentations. It's about leadership. It's about making friends, making connections, about improving your listening skills and your communication skills all over the place. And that's why Toastmasters has to evolve and has to change. That's why we need a new name that reflects really what Toastmasters is all about. Because why? We don't do toasts. We don't. We do more than public speaking. So we need to change Toastmasters for the better, to make it all-encompassing. We need a new name. And we need you people, the people here with me now, other Toastmasters, to understand when they go out and talk to people, to be able to firmly and effectively communicate what modern Toastmasters is all about. Thank you, and back to you, Cody.